It was ZvX with Stoic here, episode 24. He is Stoic Regrets.
He's Stoic Nouveau?
For those of you who are asking about the t-shirts, here it is.
You're wearing it? Oh
I'm
god.
not fucking wearing it.
Oh.
Okay, I'm just trying to show it.
You like put it on for the episode?
There's my name. Back is actually pretty badass. I hope Hulkin doesn't watch this.
Hulkin, I hope he wears his. That would be hilarious. The last Stoic remaining, he just puts his shirt on.
They are pretty good shirts. These are breathable too. Very, very nice, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I'll throw it at my cat now. Oh, I fucking missed. Anyways, so let's not waste any time here, Dave. Why don't we just get right into the game? First game here, we've got you versus Complexity Minigun on Ohana ZvP. Anything special? Anything special you want to say?
I actually don't remember this game, so we're gonna have to go through it.
All right, well, let's get right in here. The game or the song is "Hot Hot Heat." Good night. Good night. I'm fading that out now.
Make sure you're actually in screen. Haven't done this for a while.
I'm in
Probably
screen.
gonna fuck up somewhere.
I'm in
We're
screen.
probably on 2 different replays. We just won't know until like the 10-minute mark.
All
When
right.
you start saying, "Man, those Reapers are doing a lot of damage," and I go, "What Reapers?"
Reavers. All right. 3, 2, 1. Play.
Well, if it's Reavers, then you're in Brood War and I'm not. That would be even stranger.
Yeah. What the fuck are we even
Shawn,
doing
this is
here?
wrong game.
I swear to God, if my cat jumps up on my lap one more time during this VOD, I'm putting it in the goddamn microwave. Back to the game. So Complexity Minigun's really fucking good right now,
people accept the fact that we might bash on players, but no animal cruelty, because then we'll lose all our viewers.
Oh yeah, true. YouTube frowns upon that or something. I've had several bots taken down.
Except for those videos of people posting cats getting decapitated, etc.
Yeah, yeah. So Minigun's like ranked 1 GM right now in North America.
Yeah. No
No easy feat, might I say.
It's pretty easy.
Well, Idra can do it. Okay, so you're doing 15 pool now. Used to be 14. You've changed your ways.
Yeah, I literally just flip a coin, and if it's heads, I'll do 15. If it's tails, I do 14. And if it lands on its side, I'll 6 pool.
I can't stand your incessant spamming.
Alright, so
Now this map is weird. When he blocks your hatch, do you take the third? Because I find when I take that third as my first hatch, those rocks really screw me up if they do some 4-gate pressure. Do you find the same thing, or can it be held? Like, is it? You
there
just
are
have to be
different
ready.
ways to do it. The newer style now, the one that Symbol's doing that I kind of like, is you do a 14 pool and then you go up to 16 supply, and then you send out a drone at 100 minerals to your third.
Yep.
And then at 200 minerals, you send one to your second. So you always get one down really fast. And because you 14 pooled, he can't actually cannon you, because the Zerglings, like by the time your Overlord hits his base, if you see a Forge first build with no Nexus, then you skip the Queen, you build Zerglings first.
He's just gonna cancel this one. You believe the nerve of this guy?
It's silliness. Yeah, this is pretty annoying. This is actually good for him, because his Nexus is going to be almost half complete by the time the first Nexus goes down, so...
He should cancel that, though, should he?
Yeah, he definitely should have canceled that third one.
That's a misclick by Minigun. A misclicky gun.
Yeah, because as you can see, it doesn't actually delay much for the whole mineral count, because I'm killing the pylon anyways, so you're only delaying me by like 5 seconds. It's not worth it.
Yeah, okay. I can see you're gonna have 300 right when this pylon dies. And you're still going down at 24. Oh. Bickety bam. Units lost tab, minigun down, David winning.
That's the name of the game. Units lost. You can have the least units lost will always win the game. If StarCraft was like that, Zerg would probably lose every game. But
so good night, good night. Oh my god, that's sneaky snake. Get that probe right in there, didn't he?
Alright, so I have been triple gassing at 50 supply as of late. It's a little
That's
bit more
late, man. That's greedy.
About 6:40 instead of 6 minutes, but
I
I
would
don't
die to
know if I do
everything.
it this game or not. This game could be old, so...
Now, if you scout really early gas, is that more of a reason to go triple gas at 50 supply? Like if you see him take 2 gases at like 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
It really depends, because if the double gas goes before 6 minutes, it can also be the new Sase build in which it's all four of his assimilators are mining from 2 probes.
Oh, what a
I've actually
snake.
seen that quite a few times. So
Sase,
yeah, you
of
definitely
course.
don't want to misread that as a Stargate build, because he can just do a really strong immortal all in or expand, and then it'll be silly of you to misread that.
So you really got to see how many probes are mining. 'Cause if it's 2 and 2, it's probably 2 and 2 in all 4
Yeah,
gases.
definitely, I wouldn't reactionarily decide when to put your gases down. It's more of a strategy. Up to
Okay.
the 7-8 minute mark, it is a build which you should be deciding beforehand.
So you don't play reactionary with this at all. You're playing your strategy.
Yeah, definitely gas timings is not a strategy thing. You each different gases have benefits and downfalls. You just have to learn how to react to certain pushes with the different timings of your gases.
Okay, well, there's 2 pretty quick gases.
All right, so I do see his 2 assimilators here. So it's very difficult to know if this was an extremely quick void ray opening or a robotics bay opening, as he's doing right here. The best way to do it is to obviously get that scout, but I'm playing a more Stephano-esque style this game, so I'm already deciding to do a roach max safety build anyways, so getting an overload into the base actually doesn't do anything if you're opening off of a strong number of roaches first. You need it more if you're trying to play like Symbol or DRG, and if you're deciding to go mutas and fezzes, etc. But this game, I'm going to do a ground-based army off the bat, so everything basically doesn't have to... Like, there's nothing I can't actually counter until my roaches are out at about the 120 to 150 supply, because I will get it regardless of Stargate openings or not. The only really crazy thing that could hurt you is maybe a double Stargate opening, but even then, it is kind of like a blind hard counter to a blind roach max kind of a thing. Not roach max, I keep saying that, but what I mean is just opening roaches strong, like I am this game. So if that does happen, there are ways to kind of counter it. You know, you could go for base trades, you could panic build spores if you can catch it early enough, or you can just tell by the sheer number of sentries that he's building. So
Why don't you count your time up right now?
46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53,
Just keep
54,
counting.
55, 6, 7, 58, 59, 9 minutes. 1, 2, 3. That bad? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
No, I just went to normal speed. Tried something new.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I didn't pause it. I
Pausing.
just slowed it down. I
God
think
damn
it's
it,
much.
Vince.
I think it's much nicer on the viewer's eyes.
Worse on me.
That's true.
All right, so the timing of the gate here on the block off to his expansion, never ever get tricked, because a lot of classes have been doing this as of late,
Taking
especially
down
on maps
routes.
where you can clear. Yeah, never get tricked to assume that this is an expansion build. This is why I'm not immediately taking my fourth base, because this could simply be a tactic in which all he has to do is build a pylon and 2 gates to wall off there. And I don't. Okay, so what I just saw was I saw the glimpse of his observer in my base. So even without me seeing this nexus here, which is why I actually scouted this right after I saw that observer. It's very odd for him to have an observer out that quickly. I see it's in my main base now. If he was actually doing an immortal in, because you want to delay the observer as much as possible, because you only really need the observer to come out when you're actually at the Zerg space as the Protoss player. So having it that early pretty much means that it's more of a scat tactic, and he built it before going up to that optimal immortal count, so it's most
Did
likely...
you just say scat tactic?
No, scout.
Oh. Continue.
Alright, so just going up to, as close as I can to max roach, just to see how much damage I can actually do. I do have roach speed now, and +1 is about to finish, so I can actually see if I can make something happen at this point. Alright, so he has both cannons, and this is a good position for him, especially on a map like this. Unfortunately for him, he does let me kill, I think, about a sentry, and that's a ton of force fields to be wasted. So you just want to abuse the map's choke points as much as possible. So as you can see, I spread my units so that he's now forced to fight into 2 fronts that are as far apart from each other as possible. So those little roaches in the backside, are definitely going to die eventually, but it stops him from transferring probes, so he actually doesn't saturate the third for a really long time. And it kind of makes him nervous as to how he wants to split his army, because if he splits it incorrectly, then I do trade efficiently against everything in his army composition except for the immortals. So he has to decide where to put immortals here and there. So as you can see, he's trying to allocate his immortals, as nicely as possible, so that if
Snipe
I go
that
up that ramp,
forge,
at least I'll have one.
If you don't kill that forge, I'll kill myself.
Well, I have to be really careful because he has sentries, right? So he does let me get in. That's a huge mistake by him. So, you just want to put his multitasking to the test, and now he makes a huge mistake. He puts himself in a bad spot because he let my roaches get into his second base. So that forces him to defensively force field his army out to go down his ramp to protect his third. So you just want to basically look for opportunities, just the way Stephano plays off of this strategy. And it's just really beneficial if you can catch the Protoss a little bit off guard, miss force fields or misallocation of their units to different bases is just huge. So the new thing that I've been kind of figuring out with this build transitioning out against Protoss, especially if you do somewhat good damage, is the key to this build is to saturate minerals first and gas later. I think the problem that most Zergs have been having with this is even when they get significant damage, they're too quick to kind of panic back into collecting their gas too quickly, and then investing so much gas into taking drones off of minerals in order to mine from as many gas geysers as possible, and investing too early into that extra tech, the Spire tech or the Infestor tech, the more popular one.
Yeah.
And as you can see here, I've taken my extractors, but I still haven't put any tech down whatsoever. And basically what this is going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to pull up minerals to a really high degree. So as you can see, it looks like it's unbalanced right now because I have about, had about 1,000 minerals and almost no gas. But that's actually what you want. It's actually worse for you to be like 400 minerals, 400 gas at this point. It makes it more difficult for you to transition in case he retains his army and then decides to counterattack you. Like you can kind of see that mineral deposit is still huge at this point. It's allowing me to remain at 160 supply to his 100 constantly every time we engage. And then slowly, when my fourth base finally finishes, you can see I'm going to re-drone up. So then now I will more nicely transition into this additional gas tech instead of rushing the gas first off the mere 65 drones initially. So let those minerals pool up. Minerals are a lot more important because although if you do transition out of roach ling, you do want to go back into producing collecting as much gas as possible. The ability to reproduce roaches and lings is essential to transitioning out of this. So many times have Zergs actually died because they do a lot of damage, but the Protoss retains about 120 supply, and you end up collecting your gas too early, and now you have a Spire and Infestation Pit down with 700 gas, but you only remax up to like 140 instead of back to 200, and you can actually just die because of that. So, and don't forget, even if transitioning into Infestors especially, and Mutas somewhat so, the bulk of your army is still going to be Roach Ling, or usually just Lings.
What time are you
That's the
at?
thing that people kind of forget, right? They transition into Infestors and they kind of say, okay, now I'm transitioning into Infestors, so, I want to have a lot of gas. But, the army of Infestor, Ling, Roach, even, into Broodlords or whatever, isn't 90% Infestors, 10% Roach, Ling. It's actually basically the same composition with just Roaches and Lings, and then you add in like 6, 7 Infestors, slowly going higher and higher, 8, 9, etc. So definitely minerals is still really important, so take your time to saturate as best as you can. And once the fourth finishes, then take advantage of the fourth to saturate it with minerals first, and slowly take the gases. Like even now that I know that I'm going into Baneling tech and possibly more higher into gas deposit tech, I'm still only mining from minerals at my newly made fourth base because minerals are still more important when you're doing roach ling based army styles.
Oh, you almost got a bunch of probes.
Yeah, so as you can see, the mineral deposit here is everything, right? Like, the ability for me to remax here is because I have 2,000 minerals.
Yeah.
If I had 2,000 gas right now, it would be useless.
So, any reason for just pure lings on the remax?
Oh, definitely pure lings is better when your decision is to go out of tech, right? Because this is already 18 minutes in the game, and his third is already up. Like, it hasn't been secured because I did so much damage to him in the early game, but You know, at this stage of the game, especially because I'm already on 4 bases, so I have the potential to be on 8 gases, right? That's a lot of gas. I don't really want to go back to the roach ling right now. The only reason these lings are being produced is because I think I can actually kill them right now. But the reason why it's better to build 50 lings here besides roaches is because now, if say, you know, for whatever reason this game turned out like this, but he had twice the army right now and he didn't actually die, then I want to switch into something else. I want to have the ability to switch into Spire Tech or into Infestor's Tech or to go into Tier 3. And saving that gas is a lot better for you in this stage of the game because, you know, at 18 minutes, roaches are pretty bad. I mean, like
Yeah,
once you
they're not
go
going to do
into
anything against tier 3, I guess. Well,
exactly, once you go into the late game, you actually don't want roaches for any reason against Protoss, regardless of what you go, right? You always want
they
lings
just
with infestors or lings with mutas.
they
So.
just take up precious supply.
Yeah, and gas too. They're actually quite expensive with gas as well because it adds up because you have to build so many. So,
All right,
yep.
let's roll into the next game.